Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
All right, welcome aboard to Elevating with Marcia Hawkins here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, Sirius XM 211, presented by myhealth-quotes.com. Here she is, Marcia Hawkins. What's going on? What a great July 4th, huh?
Oh, the weather couldn't have been any better in New England. It was absolutely beautiful. Excited to hear that Cape Cod had some pretty good numbers given COVID, so we were pretty excited about that. And yeah, hard to believe we are closing in on mid-July. This year, you know, I know everyone's just looking forward to 2021, but I don't ever want to wish time away out of anyone's life, but man, oh man, it has been quite a year. But I think we're going to round the corner with it pretty quick, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, baseball is going to get underway. NBA, the NHL is still kind of a holding pattern. There's some news this week on college football with the Ivy League saying no go. They're going to do it in spring. So we'll get into that, too. I know you got some thought about that. But your beloved Patriots are going to play some football this year.
It looks like it, yeah. And with Cam Newton, looks like he's going to be at the helm past his physical this week. So that was pretty exciting. And a lot of people are getting a little bit ruffled about it, saying Cam Newton, can't believe it. Never thought I'd see him in a Patriots uniform. That said, kind of interesting. He did pass his physical, and I think we'll start seeing some action out of Foxborough pretty quick. With when does the training camp start?
In like 2 weeks.
Yeah, so we should start to hear some rumblings out of Foxborough.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's going to be kind of exciting to see what happens. Yeah.
Your buddy Brady's back in the news. I'm going to tease that into the opening segment. We're kind of getting going here. You got to have an opinion on this, and I'm teasing it, but don't say it yet. But Brady's done a couple things that are a little peculiar. Don't say them yet, but hasn't he done a couple of weird things in your opinion?
Oh, I totally agree. Yeah. I mean, I love him, but I agree. I agree. Some things pretty out of character for him, for sure.
All right, we're presented by myhealth-quotes.com, and Marcia will elaborate on that coming up here. And a lot to get to. Tourism numbers were good, folks. Now, they're relative tourism numbers, but quarantines are expiring. People are traveling, and we encourage you to go out there and have a good time this summer. Before you know it, Labor Day will be here, and then we will be headlong into the college football season. Elevating with Marcia Hawkins, myhealth-quotes.com on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Between jobs, retiring, or just need health or life insurance, please visit myhealth-quotes.com or call 833-687-5261. Before you try to get a quote online, call us. We will provide you with the information most sites will not. We teach you exactly what life or health insurance plan you qualify for, how to use your plan, and maximize your benefits. We provide you with the information to make a knowledge-based decision to ensure selecting the right plan. myhealth-quotes.com to schedule an appointment.
Tired of the same old hat? CoverageGear.com is the top destination to find the hats and gear you need to represent your favorite pro teams and players. Head to CoverageGear.com with the promo code RADIO and grab a cap with the iconic jersey number of the all-time greats and current stars from the NBA, NFL, MLB, and more. These classic hats come in the font and style of the Superstars team. So with the number 30 from Golden State, number 2 from the Yankees, number 23 from the Bulls, or a number 12 from the Packers, CoverageGear.com will help you honor the legends of yesterday and today. Check out our collection of dad hats, trucker caps, beanies, stickers, and more. Use promo code RADIO and get 20% off. That's promo code RADIO at CoverageGear.com. CoverageGear.com. We've got you covered.
Hey, what do you want to da-da-da?
I don't know. What do y'all think we should da-da-da?
Well, what did we do yesterday?
Yesterday.
All the dolls feel like the same doll these days.
I know.
Like, is today Monday or Tuesday?
Today is Thursday.
Oh, no, I forgot to call my mom on her birthday.
Oh, no.
No.
These days, nothing is normal and everything is weird. But you could still save big when you switch to Progressive. That won't change. Not today or any day.
Quote today at Progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
O'Reilly. Get your car ready for summer at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Oil? Check. Battery? Check. Wipers? Check. And don't forget your cooling system. Right now, get Peak Long Life Universal Pre-Mixed Antifreeze and Coolant for $12.99 a gallon at O'Reilly Auto Parts. And earn double O Rewards points with your purchase. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's time to play Vomit or No Vomit. Brought to you by Nauzene.
Jeff, you thought you'd celebrate American independence by shoving a ton of greasy barbecue and beer down your throat, setting off a finale of fireworks in your stomach. Do you A, vomit, B, chug the pink stuff, C, take fast-acting Nauzene?
Take Nauzene.
Correct! Nauzene's 4-minute formula quickly relieves stomach discomfort from overindulging.
Get Nauzene now in the purple box at Walmart or your favorite store.
All right, welcome back. It's Elevating with Marcia Hawkins here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. It is presented by myhealth-quotes.com, and Marcia will talk about that in mere moments. But also, I want to tell you the tourism numbers were up, and we'll get into that as well. And obviously, NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, all getting ready to get started here. But your boy Brady, what's he doing?
You bring him up every week, but that's okay. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what's going on with him. Part of me thinks maybe it's a little buyer's remorse. Maybe he kind of regrets his decision to go to Tampa Bay. I don't know. Just seemed very out of character. I mean, for how many years we followed him in Foxborough, and he just had such a commitment to always doing the right thing. Never saying, too much controversial. And, it just seems like ever since he said he was leaving New England, just a lot of things out of character for him,
including taking some federal money. Now, I know nothing about TB12, but it's a company that he has primarily online. He took somewhere between $350 and $1 million in payroll protection funds. It just seems odd for a guy with a supermodel wife worth a lot. They're worth $1 billion combined. It just seems odd, and I think it hurts his image. That, and he got a patent on Tampa Bay for his name, Tom, and kind of parlaying Tampa into Tampa. Just bizarre. It just doesn't seem like the Tom Brady that left New England back here in the spring.
Agree. The Tampa Bay thing, I could see if he was early on in his career and he wanted to really, brand himself as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, I would totally subscribe to that. But I don't know, this late in his career, I think it's a little odd. Not a big fan of the whole Tampa Bay thing, but whatever. Who knows what he was thinking? Perhaps it was, his handlers that thought it was a good idea. Really try to, create some excitement around him. You have to also take a look at the fact that sports is so flat right now. There's not a whole lot going on. Maybe they just tried to generate a little excitement. It would, in a normal climate, you have to admit this would be huge news. And it was, but it quickly took backseat to everything that was going on in the country with the COVID. We're in an election year, so there's going to be things that are going to override the excitement of Tom Brady playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That will go out the window if it comes down to a Cam Newton-Tom Brady shootout in the Super Bowl. But who knows? I'm not going to forecast that far ahead. But I don't know, the whole PPE money. I really think that while the optics may not look that great for him on that, I wish people would take a step back. Who knows? Maybe his online sales were going to tank because of it. Perhaps he needed to keep his employees going. Many people start a business and do an LLC or a C corporation or an S corporation, and they do that specifically to not commingle their own funds or liabilities into their business. So I'm going to give him a pass on that, given the fact that we really don't know if it kept people employed. And people had their jobs and had their benefits, then I don't think we should comment on things that we don't have enough knowledge about.
Yeah, well, it's out there, and he's getting a lot of criticism. But again, he didn't do it illegally. Maybe the optics, like you say, are a little bit dicey. Just real quick, because I want you to get into some insurance and some other topics that you want to get into. But you have an interesting take on Patrick Mahomes, signed for a lot of money. He has out language, so these contracts are really monopoly money. It's $50.3 million, but it's really not real because there's out language. He can get out in 2025. The Chiefs can get out at any time because there's a buyout, predetermined figure. But you said something interesting to me off air. Mahomes' style of play leaves him susceptible possibly to injury. You talked about that.
Oh, yeah. I love watching him. I think he's a fantastic quarterback. I mean, I give the guy that. I was surprised. I'm not surprised by the contract. I kind of expected it. But what I find interesting with him is the way he throws the ball. He can twist his body like a pretzel. It does. I get nervous when I watch him. When I watched him in one of the playoff games and in the Super Bowl, I held my breath on a couple of the plays. But every single time I see him walk off the field, I feel like he's in pain. It worries me. Obviously, both sides have outs, and I get all that, but I think he's going to go down as a phenomenal quarterback. That's not what I'm saying, but I do think the way he plays ball, he does open himself up to injury. I do worry about that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. All right. myhealth-quotes.com presents the show. It's Elevating with Marcia Hawkins, and insurance is a big issue, whether it's life, health insurance. This time of year, people are starting to think about it.
Yeah, new numbers came out yesterday. 27 or 28 million people are going to probably lose their health care coverage. I just want to give out a couple of stats for people to pay attention to. If you do lose your health care coverage through your employer, most people don't realize this. You only have 60 days to apply through healthcare.gov. That's a very important number. Just had a client from Florida that missed it, called me right before the 60 days was going to be up. Didn't call back till after the 4th of July, and he's out of luck. So it's very important. 60 days from the date that you lose your coverage. Most plans will expire on the last day of the month. So if you get laid off July 15th, you most likely will have your coverage through July 31st, which then puts you 60 days out to replace that coverage if you go through the marketplace. Marketplace plans do contain this 10 essential benefits and does cover the minimal essential coverage, which is very, very important, especially if you have pre-existing conditions or you take prescription drug coverage. You do have the option, if healthy and don't need prescriptions and don't need maternity and all the bells and whistles of traditional health insurance, you can go a private route. That's totally fine as well. But a lot of people are going to be probably losing their health care coverage. So that's very, very important. We try to provide at myhealth-quotes.com an education. We're not here to just sell you insurance. It's a passion of mine. I for many years had to navigate the health insurance market and finally joined them. So I would say that if you think you're going to lose your coverage, always talk to a trusted, licensed agent. Make sure that you don't talk to someone that tells you have to buy it that particular day. And we at myhealth-quotes.com really are about providing you with an education so you know exactly what plan you bought, how the plan's going to work for you. I would never want someone to get into a position where they buy a plan they think they're qualified for and find out after a hospitalization that their claim will not be paid. So very, very important, myhealth-quotes.com. We also do life insurance, dental, and vision as well.
All right, we look forward to that. myhealth-quotes.com, correct?
That's correct.
All right, good job. All right, how well do you know Central Florida?
Very well.
All right, well, good. Yeah, well, the NBA players haven't even arrived yet. Some have. They're already complaining about the food, the way the food's being prepared because they're living in a bubble. So I want to get your thought on that. And staying healthy during this pandemic is interesting too. A lot of these guys, some of the veteran players can step outside the bubble. It's going to be interesting. So I want to get into that, and we'll see if they do, play Major League Baseball without interruption. But there's a way to live during this, and you're going to get into that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Prevention is really the key to all of this. And, if you're not real healthy right now and you've managed to avoid not getting the flu or COVID or pneumonia, you really should take a look at your eating style, your habits, whether or not you're getting a good night's rest, whether or not you're hydrating. There's so many things that you can do. And I do have a little inside track on a couple of things you can take that I think would be very helpful. I'm certainly not a doctor, but I know that these are some things that completely sold out at the onset of COVID. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And we're going to talk about things that you can do long term. It's not just about COVID, but about really transforming your life so that you feel better, you look better, and you're able to give your life 100% versus, getting up every day on autopilot, going to work and doing what you do and not really making the best of it. So.
Also interesting to note, we're going to talk too about, schools online. What's going to happen with major colleges? The Northeast, this is an educational mecca here in the Northeast. Stanford has wiped out 11 varsity sports on the West Coast in Palo Alto near our San Francisco home base on the Elevating with Marcia Hawkins show. So there's so many issues to get into, and Marcia's going to delve into these and a whole lot more as we take you right up until the top of the hour. myhealth-quotes.com. It's Elevating with Marcia Hawkins. Once again, myhealth-quotes.com. We come back, Elevating with Marcia Hawkins here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, Sirius XM 211, and the American Forces Radio Network.
Have you written a book? You can become a published author with Dorrance Publishing, the nation's oldest publishing services company. Countless authors have trusted Dorrance for nearly 100 years to bring their book to the market. Our professional team will edit your text, design your book pages, and create an appealing, eye-catching custom cover. Plus, our authors benefit from a custom book promotion marketing campaign that makes your book available where people buy books, like Amazon and brick-and-mortar bookstores. So make this free call right now to claim your free author's guide to publishing. Don't wait another day. Take one step closer to realizing your dream of becoming a published author and seeing your name in print. You've already written a book, so the next thing to do is make this free call right now to Dorrance Publishing and get your free guide to publishing. Call right now.
800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. That's 800-485-6003.
I'm going to tell you how you can get real health care for as little as $6 a day. Yes, now you can get affordable health care for you and your family immediately and save as much as 50% off your current monthly health care payments. Our plans are perfect for people that are self-employed, can't afford health benefits where they work, or just want to pay less for their current health care. And coverage is guaranteed regardless of your medical condition. We even offer some of the new Christian faith-based health benefits. Save up to 50% on your family's health care. Make a free quick call now. There are no contracts, and we give you a 10-day money-back trial period. Call Provision Enrollment right now for your risk-free, guaranteed health insurance quote starting at $6 a day.
800-472-5145. 800-472-5145. That's 800-472-5145.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down. 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
Welcome back. MyHealth-Quotes.com presents Elevating with Marcia Hawkins here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Welcome aboard to everyone out there across the country and around the world on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, including Sirius XM 211, iHeartRadio app as well. And there's another way to reach you too, and that's through Elevated Media ESQ. Can you give out that email? Because some people may have insurance or other questions of you, and I want them to be able to get a hold of you.
Right, absolutely. Hello at elevatedmediaesq.com would be a way to reach me. Hello at elevatedmediaesq.com.
All right. You kind of been a life coach. Not kind of been. You are a life coach, and you coach me, in fact, and I'm going to endorse her. I've lost a lot of weight. You've told me to get rid of sugar. You told me if I stopped drinking Coca-Cola, I would lose 10 pounds. I'm down 17. I have not changed my eating habits. I have exercised, but boy, sugar. But, you know, COVID aside, there's a healthy way to live out there. Boy, do I feel good.
Yeah, and I want to say Coca-Cola. I don't want to upset anybody. So
what did I say?
I'll say soda.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Pop soda, whatever you call it. Yeah, it's just trashy calories. Yeah. It's just there's no nutritional value in soda. People, I don't know a lot of people that consume 5 or 6 cans of soda each day. It's just empty calories, no nutritional value. Sugar is a precursor to a lot of disease, cancer being one of them. Cancer feeds off sugar. Not quite sure how people end up getting so addicted to it, but they do. And people don't even realize that they're addicted to sugar. And it aside from, diabetes and weight gain and, not being able to get rid of that visceral fat in your stomach, it just brings on a whole host of problems. So I've never, I've never been a big soda drinker anyways, but I tell people all the time, if you really wanted to lose a quick 10 pounds, if you're a soda drinker or you love to have a couple of glasses of wine or a couple of beers every day, just by eliminating that alone, you probably, I can't guarantee because I don't know your lifestyle, but I can pretty much guarantee that alone will probably take 5 to 10 pounds off without much effort. There's so many things that we can do, just little tiny modifications to our daily life that would definitely help us take weight off, sleep better, focus better. There's so many things that we do in the course of the day that take us off track. So those are just a couple of the things, but definitely in the pandemic times, there's so many things that we can do to make ourselves healthier. Getting a good night's rest is one of them. I really am a strong advocate for sleeping well. And, getting to bed at a decent hour, getting on a good schedule, much like exercise. You can get yourself on a good regiment with walking 5 miles a day or even 20 minutes of brisk walking, going for a quick run, maybe 10 minutes of running, jump roping, any type of cardio. There's so many people now working at home. Sitting all day is the new smoking. It's so bad for you. So you got to get up and you got to get moving, and you really, whatever you're consuming, it's either going to be beneficial to you or it's going to be not so beneficial to you.
You'll directly talk to people. So again, I want you to give out the email because again, I'm going to endorse her. I've used her and it has changed my life, and you can do this. And the beauty of this, I love Zoom because you could hold a group. If there's a group of women or guys out there, say there's 5 of you or 10 of you people that want to get together and get a hold of you, you will do Zoom sessions with people or at least entertain the idea of doing that because you can help people and you can communicate with them just by looking into a camera.
Absolutely. But I really don't like the term life coach. I know I don't like it because it's cliche, but more importantly, I don't like it because I don't consider myself a life coach. I'm kind of a show me the way kind of person. If someone comes up to me and says to me, how do you stay in shape, or how do you do this? How do you do that? I simply explain what I do and what works for me. Some things that we do are so simple and have such a profound effect, like, stopping, drinking 5 cans of soda a day, or 2 to 3 glasses of wine every night. There's just no nutritional value. I'm not saying stop drinking. I mean, if you have a problem with it, yeah, I am saying that. But if you are somebody that has gotten into a bad habit of coming home every day and having, 2 or 3 glasses of wine, and you're complaining to everybody that you can't take off, 10 pounds, that would probably be the first line of defense that I would go with to get that weight off. But I would not consider myself a life coach. I consider myself somebody who, I always say I'm a butt kicker more than anything. Yeah. But I look at people and I'm astounded by, I'm in the minute to win it. I live in every single minute of my life. I can always make more money. I can never make more time. And that's really kind of my mission statement. And I want people to feel well. I want people to, get up every day and be excited about going to their job and going for a walk or working out. I can even get you excited to pay your bills, believe it or not. I mean, that's really, yeah, I love getting people excited about their life again. That's, life coach, call it if you must, but I don't see myself as a life coach. I really, more of a conditioner. I really try to condition people to really take a look at their life and make better decisions about everything: diet, exercise, everything. If you hate your job, then I'm going to kick you in the butt and tell you to get a new one and show you how to do it.
Yeah. All right. Here's something that's really cool. So I'm going to do this with you. This is a good little exercise over the air. All right. So we're all bombarded with negativity. Mm-hmm. I weaned myself off the news about 3.5 weeks ago. Have I cheated a little bit? Yeah, the TV comes on. I left it on the night before I might catch the news. But I truly don't watch it. I don't want to get into the liberal left or the extreme right or whatever. All I'm saying is, what do you say, Elevating with Marcia Hawkins? How can people elevate themselves in times like this? Mentally, physically, whatever. Give us, the listeners, the basis for a positive attitude when there's so much negativity out there. I think this is important.
Yeah, I would say get off the news. Stop listening to the news. I think you can get a quick update in the morning and be good for the day and maybe catch 5 or 10 minutes of it. You can get updates through multiple websites to find out what you need. But I find that when people are not happy within themselves, they tend to marinate in negativity. The news, they gossip, they marinate in their neighbor stuff. Most people really project out really how they feel about themselves. So, people, social media is another pet peeve of mine. I think it's a wonderful tool to be used, but I think, unfortunately, it has taken on a whole life of its own. And people will just get on social media. They spend a lot of time on there. They get into politics. They pick fights with people.
Take pictures of their food while they're out to eat.
Yeah, they do that too, which drives me a little crazy. To me, if you're going to put your entire life onto Facebook, you might as well just take out a full page ad in USA Today, because that's the reach that it could potentially have. I wish people would go back more into their 4x4 and try to clean up what's going on within their own 4 walls and try to live a better life. If we all could concentrate on that, if we could all look at that and say, okay, forget what the neighbors are doing, forget what the world's doing, forget what this is doing. Not to say that you shouldn't be engaged with what's going on in your country or the world. That's not where I'm going with it. But before you start getting so marinated in other things that are going on, fix what's going on within your 4x4. Get your weight under control. Get your health under control. Get your finances under control. Get things to a point where they're livable and doable. I want you to be excited about your life again. That's a really good way to start. Get your own environment where you just love getting up every day. And if everybody did that, imagine the profound effect it would have on the entire world.
Yeah. A lot of it starts with your thoughts, though. Take captive of your thoughts and make your thoughts.
Yeah. Thoughts are things.
You always preach, be careful what you think. And you've said that to me, be careful what you think. You've told me some pretty scary stories about someone that you worked with, imaging and saying, oh, boy, we just got this big deal. Now we got to do all the hard work. And, the end result wasn't good. Be careful what you think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thoughts become things, and whatever you focus on will materialize. The universe is always listening. I tell people all the time, even at a very young age, and I've talked about this on previous shows, that I was able to visualize something that I really wanted to do, and within 24 hours, it really was a pie in the sky type of thing that I never thought would happen. And I was able to visualize that and see it happen. Thoughts become things. What you focus on, the energy you put towards those, good or bad, is what will happen. And you're absolutely right. I had a big contract landed, and the first words out of a colleague's mouth was, wow, this is going to be so much work. And within 2 hours, we lost the account. So the weirdest part was I felt it. The minute it came out of his mouth, I was like, that's what's going to happen. So please be careful about what you think about. Thoughts become things, and you really do need to make sure that you focus on what you're trying to accomplish in your life, what you want to attract into your life, and really weed out the negative. It serves no purpose.
All right, we got a whole lot more to get with Marcia Hawkins. Elevating with Marcia Hawkins is presented by myhealth-quotes.com. Reach out to her, myhealth-quotes.com. Take care of that insurance, folks. It's very, very important, and she'll do a good job for you. myhealth-quotes.com. All right, coming up, the long segment of the program. We're taking you right up until the top of the hour, and you can also reach her at Elevated Media ESQ. We'll give you the email when we come back on the other side. Again, myhealth-quotes.com. Can't say it enough. Insurance is that important. We roll on. It's Elevating with Marcia Hawkins. It's heard each week right here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Between jobs, retiring, or just need health or life insurance, please visit myhealth-quotes.com or call 833-687-5261. Before you try to get a quote online, call us. We will provide you with the information most sites will not. We teach you exactly what life or health insurance plan you qualify for, how to use your plan, and maximize your benefits. We provide you with the information to make a knowledge-based decision to ensure selecting the right plan. myhealth-quotes.com to schedule an appointment.
We saved big money with our Progressive Home and Auto Bundle and used the cash to take a family vacation.
To Hawaii.
Who's up for a luau?
Yay!
This is not a real testimonial. Sure, customers can save big money with Progressive, but not enough to go to Hawaii. They'll probably use it for things like the mortgage and groceries, or even a travel magazine, so at least they can see pictures of Hawaii.
Aloha!
Yes, say hello to those beautiful Hawaiian beaches in that magazine. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I'm pretty handy around the house, but now that I have kids, I don't want to spend my Saturday installing a toilet or fixing an air conditioner. But thankfully, there's Home Advisor. Home Advisor helps me find the best home pros in my area to handle any kind of project. You can read reviews of the pros, check their availability, and even book appointments online. And what my wife loves most is that Home Advisor is completely free to use.
Go to HomeAdvisor.com or download the free app to get started.
Home Advisor. Rusty Wallace here for Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief. This pain cream is the official pain cream of NASCAR for a reason. It works fast, and you won't stink. There's no messy, greasy, nasty feel or any stinging or burning here. This is pure pain relief. Don't run your engine on Octane 89. Get the good stuff and meet me in Victory Lane. Blue Emu works fast, and you won't stink.
Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief, the official pain relief cream of NASCAR.
The die-hard batteries you know and trust are now at Advance Auto Parts. That means all the reliability, durability, and power you expect now come with free testing, free installation, and the unrivaled expertise of advanced team members. No appointment necessary. And for a limited time, Purchase a DieHard battery and enter to win a free Optima battery maintainer and charger. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
It's time to play Vomit or No Vomit. Brought to you by Nauzene.
Yeah, you thought you'd celebrate American independence by shoving a ton of greasy barbecue and beer down your throat, setting off a finale of fireworks in your stomach. Do you A, vomit, B, chug the pink stuff, C, take fast-acting Nauzene?
Take Nauzene.
Correct. Nauzene's 4-minute formula quickly relieves stomach discomfort from overindulging.
Get Nauzene now in the purple box at Walmart or your favorite store.
Welcome back. Elevating with Marcia Hawkins here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, Sirius XM 211, the iHeartRadio app. By the way, all the shows are archived in the podcast section of iHeartRadio app. Also, Stitcher, Tuned In, American Forces Radio Network. So many great places to get the content that we put out each and every week here with this gal right here, Marcia Hawkins, Elevating with Marcia Hawkins. So away we go. Well, let's pick up where we left off. You know, your thoughts are important, how you take care of yourself. We're going to talk about education, how that's changing, whether sports are going to exist. Stanford University just wiped out 11 varsity sports. A lot of negativity in the world, but I think they're going to play some games, and this too shall pass.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It is, funny. We're in uncharted waters for sure. And I do want people to start living a better life. I know the COVID thing has been very traumatic for a lot of people. People have, had people that they love get sick with it. Some have passed away from it. But I really believe that if we can start taking personal responsibility for our health and making sure we make good choices, trying to quit smoking, if you're drinking a lot, cutting down on drinking or quitting altogether, watching the sugar that you're consuming, making sure you're getting some good exercise, making sure you're sleeping well. All of those things are going to, and when you go to the doctors and you get some tests done, always ask them to do some tests that they may not otherwise look for. Maybe a B12 deficiency, a zinc deficiency, vitamin D deficiency is probably one of those things that most people don't realize that they're deficient in. And a good friend of mine who happens to be my doctor said that vitamin D deficiency probably may be tied a little bit to the COVID outbreak. So, yeah, you got to look at everything. But if everyone can take responsibility and take charge of their life, I really do believe that there is nothing we can't overcome. There's so many things we can do to really change the direction of our life by making a simple decision. And if people are struggling with that, I'd love to be a part of it. Email me at hello@elevatedmediaesq.com.
All right, say that one more time, please.
hello@elevatedmediaesq.com.
All one word.
All one word. And yeah, we do marketing, business consultations. I like everything that has to do with people's lives, whether it's their business, their lifestyle. Yes, I do insurance as well. And yeah, I want people to start living a better life. That's really what it comes down to.
All right, I got a top 5 list I want to run through you. This is fun too, because we'll have 5 bullet points and we'll get into it. But, you talked about the power of thinking, listen to your body, but also, imagine some good things coming. Okay, a summer vacation. Some people are saying, my job's changed and maybe I'm getting comfortable. I'm getting some unemployment benefits. You could still do good things in life, still plan, do vacations, do exciting things. And, sports is going to make a comeback. It's important to have some recreation, though, is it not?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a huge proponent of fitness and family time and getting away. I think a lot of people have canceled their vacations, whether it's they're concerned about the spread of the COVID or, certain resorts are shut down. But we do hear from our clients that a lot of the resorts are beginning to open back up. Mm-hmm. And more importantly, they're really starting to strategize about how they can emerge post-COVID marketing. And they're trying to figure out, how they can reach their intended audience without scaring people off thinking, if they go to these resorts, they're going to, possibly expose themselves. So I think it's a good opportunity for businesses to get out in front of it and really put out a positive message about how they're combating the COVID and how people can still go on vacation, have a great time, and still remain safe.
Satellite radio is off the charts big. The podcasting numbers in this country have gone crazy. Now, it makes sense because people are working from home and the time spent listening on podcasts is huge. What's that say to the marketers? I mean, high-end jewelers, high-end car dealers, even high-end restaurants and resorts are enjoying a resurgence. What's the key for them to get people in their doors and to buy their products?
To get their message out. Podcasting is an incredible way. As you know, we have advertisers that come on this show, and it's a wonderful way to get out in front and create, a whole new message for your clients. We evergreen all the podcasts so you can use it over and over again. And, like everyone, I have a huge background in video marketing, and I still do video marketing. But a lot of times with the video marketing, we're finding that a lot of people will click onto the video and they listen to the audio of it, but they're not actually looking at the picture. Sometimes clients will get caught up in the picture content. I tell people all the time, they're in listening mode. They want to, how many times have you pulled up a YouTube video and you don't watch the video unless it's something like a comedy or something. Right. But a lot of times you're just listening for the message of the content of what they're saying. So yeah, I think there's, no matter what you face in life, you can either look at it as an anchor into misery, or you can look at it as a launch into opportunity. And I always want a business to recognize that there's always a silver lining. And I know that there's a silver lining here with the COVID. Mm-hmm. And we talk about it all the time with clients about how they can pivot and how they can emerge out of COVID. And, for example, let me give you a good example of this. It's not tourism, but let's say you're a high-end jeweler and you have totally focused on wanting to get more people into your jewelry store. That's great, but I would be willing to bet that most high-end jewelers or jewelers in general have recognized that they need to focus on online sales. Online sales are where it's at. People were looking for things to make themselves feel better. There's nothing like going on. I mean, women know this. They do it all the time, but nothing like retail therapy to go on there and do a little shopping. Now, I know for some, people are saying, well, if a lot of people were furloughed and laid off, the last thing they're going to do is spend money on jewelry. That's true. But there are people that, financially it may not have affected them the way it affected others. And they are in the sidelines getting ready to get in there and spend some money. So, I feel that businesses really need to take a hard look at how they are marketing their online sales and be able to pivot. Car dealers are one of my passions. I love working with car dealers. And car dealers, I think, have incredible opportunity here. They really do. We know that there's ways that they could, get in front of their clients and their customers and create new sales without having to actually get them into the showroom. So, yeah, we love consulting with car dealers. There's so much opportunity out there. I just hope that businesses are getting motivated by this and not really getting dragged down.
Well, the thing is, too, I never thought of this until I met you in doing this, that a business owner or business people listen to podcasts, but that they can have their own podcast is as short as 9 or 10 minutes, as long as an hour or even 20 minutes. And then I thought, well, wait a second, this really supplants the whole 30, 60-second radio commercial because you don't have much time to explain. The podcast, you create super fans to your product, and you can go into the details about an expensive timepiece or even an average timepiece. You can go into details about a certain car. They say, pre-owned high specialty cars, there's nothing like it. It's a unique car. It's had a history. In other words, you got time to really create word of mouth advertising.
But in addition to that, it also provides the business owner to explain how they can still conduct business with you without actually having you come into their showroom or their store and potentially expose them or inconvenience them with having to wear a mask or whatever it is. Again, there's opportunity layered into all of this. It's just the business owners, I think, are so overwhelmed with trying to survive during COVID that they're not thinking outside the box. That's kind of where I come in. Yep. I'm able to, explain to them how they can really capitalize on this. So I think there's so much opportunity out there. So I'm excited for where businesses can take this. Podcasting, what's interesting about it is it really provides the platform for you to have the passion in your voice to talk about your product, service, or whatever it is that you do. But in addition to that, when you have a radio ad or a TV ad, those are wonderful because those are gentle reminders that you're there and you're in business and hey, go to our website or whatever. But with a podcast, it really creates a very heartfelt message, a passionate message about your product, service, and your product or service, and being able to really explain, why you're the best in the business. So it's interesting.
We don't want to give away all your secrets, but we know anecdotally of a car dealer in the Northeast where COVID changed his business forever in a positive way. It didn't mean he lost salespeople. What it meant, though, was the people that were calling when he was appointment only, get online and make an appointment, his conversion rate was extremely high because the people who took time to make an appointment to come in were ready to buy.
Right. It's about retooling your toolbox and really being able to figure out how you're going to still stay in communication with your clients, customers, patients, whatever it may be. But by doing a podcast, you're really able to get the message out. You're able to explain, why you're really good at what you do, or why your product is the best, or why you would want to go to a certain dentist or a plastic surgeon or whatever, and really be able to get that message across in a passionate way, so that people really, want to go to your website. They want to figure it all out and possibly do business with you. So there's so much opportunity. I just worry sometimes that business owners are so overwhelmed with trying to survive financially that they're not thinking about the opportunity that really is presenting itself.
Yeah, and it truly is an opportunity, and they can get a hold of you, again, give out that email because you specialize in doing this.
Absolutely. hello@elevatedmediaesq.com. hello@elevatedmediaesq.com. And yeah, we can schedule a phone consultation, find out, what the goals are, what the challenges are. I always want to find out what the challenge is, because if you identify what the challenge is, then you can, draft a plan, create a plan of attack, and then get going with it.
We know one thing: if you sit on the sidelines, if you got to play to score, you got to get into the game.
If you sit on the sidelines, you'll be out of the game.
Yeah, there you go. All right, a few other areas to get to real quick, because I know we only got a couple minutes left in the segment. But is school going to change? Homeschooling, sports, all sorts of things. We only got a couple minutes, and we'll delve into this again probably next week and the weeks ahead. But it's a changing landscape out there, Marcia.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of curious. Especially with higher education, I do wonder if all that money spent on the college experience, parents are going to start looking at it going, well, if we can, accomplish the same goal of getting an education without having that college experience. Well, I get it. Even with elementary children or high school kids who get that socialization, I do feel like that's important. But honestly, in the information age with cell phones, one thing I'm hearing at a record rate is that how little they communicate now. It's mostly done through texting and through social media. So I'm almost wondering if that was a precursor to what's starting to come down with COVID. And I'm interested about that. And I probably want to talk a little bit about that on future shows, because I do know that most of the kids are communicating via text message.
Yeah, they really do. All right, Notre Dame and Wisconsin not going to play a game this year at historic Lambeau Field. Non-conference games are not going to happen if you're affiliated with a Big Ten team. Big 12 and Pac-12 are going to announce soon what their plans are. There will be a football season, folks. We're here to assure you that. And also, of course, we'll tell you that the Ivy League has scrapped their fall varsity sports, but they're going to come back strong in the spring of 2021. Not only does she specialize in advertising, marketing, and kicking some tail, she specializes in insurance. Marcia Hawkins, Elevating with Marcia Hawkins, myhealth-quotes.com for health and life insurance professional with great service. Check it out with Marcia Hawkins, myhealth-quotes.com. on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. We're back to wrap up this edition in a moment.
Do you have a story to share? Your story. Lifetime Private Autobiography Services can help. We will interview you by video or phone to get your memories in your words using your pictures. Our staff of talented writers will then recreate your story into a beautifully handcrafted book. You'll receive 10 individual copies for friends and family to enjoy for generations to come. Visit privateautobiography.com to schedule a free consultation. Mention this ad for a bonus audio recording from your personal interviews. To get started, visit privateautobiography.com or call 844-921-2802. That's 844-921-2802. Remember and be remembered with this gift of a lifetime.
At 28, I had struggled with opiate and meth addiction for 12 years. I did and said things that the sober me never would have done. One day I realized I was not invincible. I was not exempt. And that's when a friend told me about Elite Rehab Placement. They gave me the tools I needed to get sober, and all it took was the one phone call.
Elite Rehab can help you start to break your addiction problem and get sober in as little as 7 days. And we'll work with your insurance provider to help cover the costs. Plus, we have travel assistance programs to get you here by plane or train. Make this free call right now to learn more. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. That's 800-403-5912.
Hello and welcome back to the Ronnie Deutsch Tax Program. On the line is Paul from California. Hi, Paul. What's your tax problem today?
Hi, Ronnie. Love your show. Listen, I've got a big problem. You see, my paycheck was garnished last week, and I'm only getting half the normal amount. To make matters worse, the IRS froze my bank account. Listen, I'm embarrassed and scared. I need some help.
Listen, Paul, you don't need to feel embarrassed. You just need some tax help. And the great news is the IRS has some unbelievable programs that can eliminate your tax debt so you don't have to worry about having your paycheck garnished or your bank levied. Doesn't that sound great?
It sure does, Ronnie.
Then do yourself a huge favor and get a free consultation right now and tell them the tax lady sent you.
855-715-5721. 855-715-5721. 855-715-5721. That's 855-715-5721.
All right, welcome back. Elevating with Marcia Hawkins on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, Sirius XM 211, American Forces Radio Network, iHeart, and TuneIn Radio, myhealth-quotes.com. All right, we're into the middle of July. Football camps are opening up. We got a lot to get to and a lot of summer still left.
Yeah, absolutely. Hard to believe it is mid-July. Can't believe it. Yeah.
It'll be Labor Day before you know it.
Yeah, you blink when you blink, for sure. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. There's not a lot going on in sports right now, but as the months tick on, we are going to have some stuff to talk about. Very excited, but yeah, different landscape for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And again, myhealth-quotes.com, she can help you out with that. In the weeks ahead, we'll be talking to some tourist operators. And again, if people want to get a vacation together, they can do it affordably. Got to be creative.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity out there. I mean, what a time to get deals. I mean, I think it was at the onset, maybe a month after of the COVID outbreak, I think you could fly from I think it was Boston to have like $20 to fly to Florida. But who wanted to go? But there are deals to be had out there. I think that the business owners that are getting creative are going to survive this just fine and then thrive post-COVID. So I'm excited to see what happens over the next couple months, whether it's sports, business, health, lifestyle. I'm excited to see what happens.
All right. To get a hold of Marcia Hawkins, your direct link, she responds to each and every email. hello@elevatedmediaesq.com. hello@elevatedmediaesq.com. In the weeks ahead, we'll be talking the world of sports, also some tourism, and some exciting things as well. So one final word, go get them, and we're back at it next week.
Yeah, email me if you have any questions. I'd be happy to address them.
hello@elevatedmediaesq.com. That's it on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network.